What's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So somebody comes and parks right next to me in a very loud motorcycle. First up, the Olympics. Have you guys been watching? I watch every time the Summer Olympics come on. Love the Summer Olympics and all of the sports that are involved. Of course, the bigger sports, basketball, swimming, gymnastics, those are usually my favorite things to watch. Let's talk about the swimming team first. Men and women's swim team, you've been hearing the same names over and over. Ledecky, Phelps, what's the Ryan boy's name? You know, all of the big names that have all been doing very well. The USA always does pretty good in the swimming events, and I've been enjoying it. We've seen Michael Phelps, I believe he has 23 medals now. I'm sure this is his last one. I mean, they said he started in 2004. I saw when he was getting his medal in 2004, and I was like, God, he was a baby. He still has that baby look to him, but you can tell he's a grown-ass man now. His mama is there, his fiance, their new baby boomer, is just as cute as can be. I love Michael Phelps. I love to see him swim. I love to see his form. I love to see his focus. He reminds me of my nephew Brandon. So I've been enjoying it. You guys, I'm so tired. Like, I don't know why. You would think that I was off all summer like the kids were. The kids went back to school this weekend. Child, I'm tired every fucking day. Ooh. Anyway, the gymnastics, the final five. What are their names? Of course, Simone, Gabby, Allie, Lori, and Madison. Just a powerful team. Like one of the little girls said, they're just about unbeatable. And I believe so. They were so high above all the rest of the other countries that you guys know that Gabby was not disqualified, but she wasn't able to compete in the all-around because they had the top 3 spots. And you can only have 2 spots per country. Well, you can't have more, when you're going to the all-around. You couldn't have more than 2 spots. Otherwise, you would be competing against yourself. Gabby got knocked out. She was the 3rd person just so that another country could compete. And then, of course, we went on to see Simone, suck up all of the honors. That girl is awesome. 19 years old. She looks like she's 12. She's 4'8", you guys. They're so tiny. Even Gabby, who looks very tall compared to the rest of them, she's only 4'11". And isn't it funny how Gabrielle Douglas has really grown since the last time we saw her in the Olympics? I mean, she is definitely a woman. She has a woman's face now, and she doesn't really have the innocence, it doesn't seem anyway, of a child like when she was there before. Way more mature, and almost don't look like she's enjoying herself. I was like, oh, Gabby, what's the matter? I mean, I know that she's really got a lot of stuff, She has a lot of pressure on her being the reigning champion and, people wanting to take her spot and all of that. But she just definitely has like a whole different demeanor this year. Still doing the damn thing. So, maybe this is just her new way of doing things. But, it's just been great to see all of them on stage. 3 black girls, which always is a good thing. I'm getting tired of the stories, though, Simone's mom being a crackhead and dad being this, and it's just like every time they show a black Olympian, okay, there's always some story, some old destitute, they didn't do this, their parents wasn't there, they was on the streets. I realize it happens, but it's like, seems like they specifically gravitate to those type of stories for black people. You don't hear about the white folks. I'm sure many of them come from crackhead families too, but you don't hear that. So, yeah, it's all very uplifting and all to see, when somebody comes from nothing. But, like I said, I'm tired of the stories. The big controversy with Gabby, a couple, one trivial, of course, her hair. Her hair is fucked up. She's sweating, she's doing her gymnastics. I'm sure when she's done that her hair is fine. As far as her not putting her hand over her heart, it was strange to me. I didn't necessarily get offended because I just didn't. I don't really care. But, for somebody who is an athlete who has done this no less than 100, 200, 300 times, it just seems like she specifically decided not to put her hand over her heart. And if she did decide to do that, then fine. Okay, if that's the statement that you're trying to make, then fine. But she said that she was just so caught up in the moment that, you know, she didn't realize that she didn't have her hand over her heart. But I don't know, just that story really doesn't, I don't think I believe that story, because it almost should be habit when you've been in this type of situation all the time. So, I mean, if that's a statement she's making, fine. I mean, you know, black people need to do whatever it is that makes them feel comfortable, especially when you're competing for a country that doesn't necessarily have your back all the time. Okay, your in general, meaning your people. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I believed her reasoning, because when she was standing there, it was so very obvious that she wasn't doing it. But whatever, you guys. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. Not as much as Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live. She was live tweeting and snapping and things, and was so much of a comedy relief for the Olympics that they decided to invite her down to be like an NBC correspondent, add comical banter to the event. So she's on her way out there. I think she'll be there on Friday, tomorrow. Good for Leslie. Leslie Jones, this is her season. Even though she's been through a lot, people talk about her, you know, not being attractive, her looking manly, her dark skin, her hair, and even through all of that, she's been able to catch the eye of the white man, honey. And whenever you can catch the eye of the white folks, the big wigs, NBC, these folks love her. And to see a comic like that come from Comic View, I mean, I've seen her actually in person, like just in the little Chitlin Circuit type comedy club thing in LA back when it was like Bill Bellamy and D.L. Hughley and all of them, like they were doing it. They weren't big names. That's when I used to see her. It's just good to see that she's come so far, even with her not being a conventional beauty. So good for Leslie. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. Have you guys been watching? What's been your favorite sport thus far? Very disappointing that the Williams sisters, they out all together. I was just like, wow, what happened? I mean, I guess you know, somebody got to lose. We can't all win all the time. But surprising, I was shocked that they were both knocked out so soon. But so that's it, you guys. Let me know what's been your favorite to watch. The water. Oh, we got to talk about the water as well. It's terrible out there. I feel sorry for these people that got to get in this water. Y'all saw yesterday the pool turned green. They said it was some algae. Unexplainable, but they were able to get it out, and you know, it wasn't going to affect the swimmers in any kind of way. But I'm more concerned about the water in the ocean. I watched a report, I think it was on Real Sports, and they were talking about the water is so bad because the sewage spills directly into the ocean. It does not have a treatment system out there. They don't clean the water, so the water basically goes into the ocean, and the ocean is sewage, raw sewage, and people are expected to swim in that for these different triathlon type events. So concerning. It's just interesting that they would pick a place like that when they know that there's water issues. These people have to get in this water. It's gonna be some shit with that in the future, you guys. Just watch, okay? People gonna have health concerns from that ocean water for sure. But yeah, that's it, you guys. I'm gonna move on, because like I told y'all, I got to get to work, child. It's early before work. I ain't even got my makeup on good yet. Let me know what you guys think about the Olympics thus far. Alright, you guys, a real sad story. Rest in peace to Toya Wright's brothers, Rudy and Josh. They were killed, I believe, on Saturday, earlier this week, out in the 7th Ward of New Orleans. I had just woke up one morning, and, you know, that's usually when you see. There were a bunch of tweets saying that the boys were killed. Didn't really have any story or background about what exactly happened. But, yeah, it was shocking, because I knew she had 4 brothers. She had 2 brothers that were, you know, in trouble. I told you guys a long time ago about the jewelry heist, and one of them was driving through Atlanta or through Georgia, and they had all the fucking jewelry in the car, and they got caught. Okay, so she has 2 brothers that was in trouble, you know, in jail with that, and then she has these other 2 brothers, one of which that she raised. Now they're saying that these 2 were killed, and I was like, damn. Toya was heartbroken, I'm sure. She's worked so hard to try to keep her family off of the streets, to the point where she just finally had to kind of give up. And I'm sure the guilt of, you know, just not being there physically at that moment for her brothers, has to be devastating. I cannot imagine losing both of my brothers, or even losing my child in that way. So very, very sad for her. They had the funeral the other day. I saw the video, and then now you're starting to hear stories about what might have happened. They believe that it was drug related. Like I said, they were in the 7th ward, and one of the neighbors said that they heard arguing a little after midnight. I think it was, Saturday night, Sunday morning, a little after midnight Sunday morning, but that was normal for that neighborhood. So the neighbor supposedly said he went to go back to his room to lay down, and when he went back to his room, then he heard 9 shots, and that's when he went back to look out the window, and they were dead in the car, I believe. Another story of gun violence, of drug violence. Sad though, just sad, because like I said, I know Toya and the one brother, Rudy, had drama with Rudy having some problems with Toya, and him saying he was going to expose her a couple of years ago, and they were having all these problems, and then finally they made up. But I had heard her recently on an interview saying that their relationship will probably never be the same, but now he's gone. So it's I feel so bad. I feel so bad for her. She's been through a lot. But they say God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. So I'm sure she will make it through this as well. But like I said, never want to imagine anything like this on even my worst enemy. So we are going to, send prayers up for Toya Wright and her family, and say rest in peace to Josh and Rudy. Guys, I also have to do a rest in peace to Dr. Sebi, who died under very strange circumstances earlier this week. You guys know Dr. Sebi as the homeopathic healer who believed that all diseases could be cured if you got your body in an alkaline state. He developed the cell plant food diet, and he's just world renowned. Said that he had found a cure for both cancer and AIDS, and put the spotlight on the fact that in the medical community, medication is a multi-billion-dollar business. So definitely Dr. Sebi was not a favorite of the medical community, and they tried to paint him out as this crazy person who just came up with all of these cures that nobody could rely on, even though he had much support of many patients who said that he had cured them. He's faced legal problems and everything, but he also has a lot of respect in the herbal and natural community. So, it's a great loss for sure. Now, the surrounding his death, he was in Honduras. He and an associate. Evidently, between the two of them, they had $50,000. They were arrested for that, and when they went to court in June, they were found guilty of money laundering. So they put Dr. Sebi and his associate both in jail. And somewhere between June 6th and, early August, his health declined. They said it declined severely. He got pneumonia, and he ended up dying. Now, Dr. Sebi was not young. He wasn't a spring chicken. Of course, he was, I think they said 82 years old, but he was in generally good health. So no one understands how you can go from that to dead within a matter of a month or two. Nobody really knew the story of him even being in jail. I mean, so, it's all these strange things. And of course, people are now thinking that they killed him. I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, if this is a person who has claimed to be able to do all of these things, the medical community couldn't have been threatened, because most people are still going to go by the way of their doctor. But I mean, his voice obviously was a threat to somebody. I won't say obviously, but it sounds strange to me. And there's been a lot of strange surrounding Dr. Sebi. He's the one that was also working with Lisa Lopez. Remember when she died out in Honduras? And I mean, just strange. All of the stories are weird. But like I said, a severe loss for that that community. They said he was survived by 17 kids. I'm not sure if he was married, but we will send prayers up for his family and friends as well, and say rest in peace to Dr. Stevie. Malia, she likes that sticky, icky. Actually, I saw the picture of Malia smoking at Lollapalooza, and it looked like a cigarette to me. Couldn't tell if it was a cigarette or weed, but I mean, if it is weed, this is my feelings on it. Yeah, it's not the best look. Not the best look for the president's daughter. You guys know, most of you guys are black. We have to do way more. We have to work way harder. We have to do shit 10 times better than anybody else. Okay, the theys. So when you get MaliaObama caught on video of her getting her groove on, that child knows she was dancing and, you know, smoking and all of that. Not the best look. However, I mean, she's a teen. She's been sheltered in the White House for 8 years. She's graduated from high school. She's able to do these things now. She's 18 years old. Okay, she's accepted into Harvard. She will be going to college soon. You know what? I think the girl deserves a little bit of, you know, a little bit of free time. Let her get out and boil a little bit. Okay, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, because I mean, it wasn't like she got caught hunching in the back of a, you know, some damn truck with some unknown hillbilly or some shit. And we've heard presidents' daughters, their kids, they get into all kind of shit. This is nothing compared to what the Bush twins used to. Y'all remember, them girls used to raise all types of hell. So in the grand scheme of things, no, this is not that big of a deal. Like I said, not necessarily the best look, just because we can't afford to look like that. But it's not nothing serious. This child is a teen. This is what these teens do. Let off a little steam. Have a good time. She comes from a long line of weed smokers. You know, President Obama did admit that he once smoked weed. I mean, we can look at his lips. Child, I'm almost thinking he might still do it. But, child, you know, that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, no, I can't be too concerned about Malia. Okay, this does not mean that the child is ready to jump off a bridge and just be wild and crazy. Okay, this is one day at a festival, listening to music with her friends, dancing, smoking, just getting a little bit out. Just getting a little bit out. Y'all, it's all good. You all good, Malia. Y'all leave that child alone. I don't know how Lil Mo gonna get out of this one. She's gonna be on the Breakfast Club tomorrow, supposedly, and we are going to see if she's going to address the rumors of her husband, boxer Dynamite, cheating and allegedly getting this woman pregnant. Okay, so he's got this side chick, supposedly. Him and the side chick be back and forth together, and, you know, fucking around. The best friend of the side chick then put the tweets out. I mean, not the tweets, the text messages out, because she feels like Dynamite is stringing her best friend along, and she's tired of it. That's the story, anyway. So they put the damn text messages out, you guys, and it don't make your boy look all that good. Okay, first of all, I mean, it's typical nigga. He's telling her that he wants her to only fuck him and nobody else, even though he's married. She can fuck around with women, she just can't do it with men. He's telling her how much he loves her, you know, how he's grown to love her, you know, that he thinks about her day and night, you know, first thing when he wake up, last thing when he go to sleep. He's talking about, you know, how good she looks when they fucking, you know, he thinks about that all the time. He even wants to get information on her fucking habits with her exes. Evidently, she must have sent him video of her and one of her ex-boyfriends having sex. And he was turned on by it. As a matter of fact, he was so surprised how big the man's dick was. He was just like, damn, it's huge. Did he come all over you? He has some sort of proclivity towards the huge dick. Very impressed with the dick, where, I mean, just some shit that men, usually straight men, don't necessarily have that much interest in. Okay, but yeah, he freaky into all this other shit. Okay, then all of a sudden the text messages start to take a turn in a different direction when old girl obviously is pregnant. She wants to keep the baby. He's trying to talk her off the ledge and saying, yeah, it's not a good thing because I'm not going to be there. You know, obviously I'm married. I can't be with you and my wife at the same time. You shouldn't have this baby, and I want to be there for my child. And she was just like, yeah, I want to keep this baby. So now it's drama. We don't know for sure. Like I said, if it's really true or not, we gonna see when Lil Mo goes on the Breakfast Club. I doubt that they will let her slide on this since it's big. Like just not the best look for old Lil Mo. Okay, we know how her and Dynamite got together, and everybody had their opinions about that. They got together as soon as she broke up from the other husband. I think they had a baby together. They had a baby together, right? You know, I didn't watch that Real R&B Divas that last season, but I think they had a baby together, and you know, they used to put all kind of crazy shit out on the internet, on social media, and they looked like they was crazy to begin with. And now this drama, yeah, this is the kind of shit you don't want your husband getting his ass wrapped up in. You know, you don't, yeah, this is like embarrassing. So we gonna keep our eyes open. Breakfast Club tomorrow. If you guys listening out, we gonna see what happens. But yeah, Dynamite, I'm gonna need you to stop sticking your dick in other people's puss. Nasty motherfucker. You want to look at the man's big dick? Guys, y'all know I love me a big dick story. Who we talking about today, y'all? Oh, Peter Panky, better known as PeterGunz. That motherfucker was over at Amina's house, went to sleep like normal. Next morning, he's laying there with a morning wood, you guys. And Amina thought it would be funny to snap a picture of him when he's in a very vulnerable position. He's laying there, he's back, child, and he got just his underwear on. And honey, this thing is so fucking big. Okay, first of all, it looks like a sideways like trapezoid or something. Like it's the balls down here, and then it's something up at the top, but it makes it look like the sideways triangle, you know. And it's just like, I looked at that picture for a long time. I said, shit, that motherfucker is big as fuck, you guys. I was just like, well, like everybody said, this is why these two can't leave him alone. I don't know what. Look, I done told y'all plenty of times before, I don't need all that big dick. You ain't gonna be jumping up and down on me and tearing me all up in the inside just cause you got this big ass motherfucking dick. Like, I don't know how women shit. Now, of course, you couldn't actually see the dick print. You could only see the head and the balls, and your imagination just took care of what was in the middle of there. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of big dick niggas out there in the world, you guys. You guys don't follow Carter the Body on Snapchat? I told my Snapchat followers about Carter the Body, child. She's this lesbian, like stud type lesbian. I can say that, right? Stud lesbian. Child, y'all got so many fucking rules. But anyway, she's this lesbian who is a exotic dancer, and on her Snapchat she always posts like when she's at different clubs and exotic dances. And y'all, one time Ridiculous was on the, y'all remember Ridiculous from Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey? That Ridiculous dick, now we didn't get to see it on Real Housewives of Atlanta. When you see that shit for real on the camera, that motherfucker is like this big. Y'all, I'm not lying, I swear for God, it's about this long. It is so damn big. He was at some party and he was dancing, and that shit was just a flopping and a blopping around, and I was just like, oh my God, who is fucking Ridiculous? Definitely long enough for him to give himself his own blowjob. I was just like, this is, I mean, it was so alarming, and so many people snap me about Carter the Body and her snaps now. Like, do you know her? I don't know her. I just happened upon her. And you know, you just get your guilty pleasures because you look at that shit. I mean, it's most of situations or parties that you know, as a straight woman might not necessarily be at. Okay, because it'd be like the women dances and the midget child. It'd just be a whole lot. I'm getting so completely off the story. Now, Peter Panky, Amina got some backlash. Obviously, his kids were not pleased with that picture. Okay, and then she had to post an apology that she forgot about the kids. She just thought that it would be funny. I said, no, she did that more to get under the skin of Tara. Look who's over at my house tonight. We just had this baby. He over here now, and I got this big dick all to myself. So, you know, that's kind of more about what that probably was about. but didn't think about the kids at the same time. So, you know, kind of backfired. But y'all, it didn't backfire for us, huh? Because I sure did I love to look at a good dick print. I told you guys I like dick prints better than I like an actual dick pic. It's just something about the imagination. When you can think about what is inside of the damn underwear, you know, that shit kind of, I was just like, Guys, so they're filming the Fast and Furious 8 out here in Atlanta, Georgia. We've seen, you know, around the city, them filming and, you know, explosives and cars banged up, and even some of the celebrities out here. The Rock, who is in the movie, posted on his Instagram the other day, basically that, you know, there are some stand-up dudes in the franchise that he loves to work with, and then there's some that are candy asses. People that he can't get with. Not stand-up dudes, just some old bitch-ass niggas, okay? So he didn't point out who he was talking about, but he was very frustrated. He was saying this was his last Fast and Furious, and, you know, if you see in the movie he looks like he's genuinely pissed, it's because he is genuinely pissed. This ain't no acting. When I read that, I was like, he probably talking about Tyrese stupid ass, and most people thought that, but Tyrese posted, no, he ain't talking about me. I don't know who he's talking about, and even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you, but I'm sure Tyrese knows, because they're saying that the tension is very high on the set, to the point where they couldn't even film because The Rock, and they're now saying the person he was speaking with is Vin Diesel, are clashing. And I was like, okay, that makes sense too, because Vin Diesel looks like he might be an asshole. You got two very strong in body. I'm very strong. Well, I'm sure it's a whole bunch of testosterone flying around that. I mean, that's a testosterone driven franchise. Okay, all of the cars and the blowing up and the fighting and the, yeah, I mean, that's a whole lot all together. So I'm sure that them two will probably clash, even though The Rock seems like he's a very cool, humble dude, like Tyrese said. I'm sure he still has it in him. Vin Diesel, like I said, I've heard stories about him being an asshole in the past. So, and they're saying that Vin Diesel is a producer. So he has he has a little bit more shot calling ability, and I guess he's made some decisions that The Rock is not happy with. So they're saying that him and Vin Diesel, The Rock and Vin Diesel have sat down and, you know, hashed it out. But, you know, that's usually just something we just gonna tolerate each other so we can get through this shit, and then I ain't got shit else to do with you. So here go the motorcycle man coming back. Anyway, you guys, that's it. Fast and Furious. I love that. Well, I wouldn't say I love the franchise, but I've liked the last few of the movies. So hopefully the 8th one will be good as well. I'm still gonna miss old Paul Walker, you guys. But yeah, The Rock, Vin Diesel, they don't like each other. R. Kelly, y'all. I can no longer, y'all know my battle with R. Kelly, but I can no longer support. I can't. He's got this 19-year-old girl that he's dating now, and he's flaunting her all over the place. You know, white chick, blonde hair. They say that he's in love with her, that he wants to marry her. He's fucking 49 years old, 30 years older than this girl. What the hell do you have in common with somebody who is fucking 19 years old? Like I always say, the motherfucker that's trying to do the top 4 at 4 on the fucking radio, call in and get some concert tickets. Well, I don't understand. Okay, this bitch work at Rule 21. Just like, I will never really understand the thought process of R. Kelly. Now, it's to the point now where he just throw it in your face. Like, just keep on getting away with it. He done fucked all these little girls. Now he's got one that's barely legal. So there ain't nothing you can do about it. But you just imagine that if he's known her, she's 19, maybe he's known her for some time. And, you know, maybe he just now ready to put it on the map. But, child, so disappointed in R. Kelly. I'ma still listen to his music because I have it. So, I mean, you know, what? But I'm not buying no more R. Kelly nothing, y'all. I know. It's just ridiculous at this point. Okay? It's just ridiculous. I always feel like people should be able to rehabilitate themselves, but you just keep on doing the same shit over and over. Okay? I just can't. I can't. And then lastly and quickie, somebody try to what the fuck is wrong with Porsha Williams? Why the hell she keep falling out everywhere? They keep on saying that, you know, she falls out, she passes out because she hasn't eaten. But the truth be told, you guys, I can go a full day without eating. I do it all the time. Like when I do my videos, I don't have a time to have lunch, so I might not eat nothing until it's time for dinner. I ain't fucking falling out everywhere. Like that's not normal. Unless she has some kind of sugar problem, you know, this hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic or whatever. But I'm gonna need us to figure out what the hell is wrong with Porsha and for them to quit telling us because she ain't ate. Because it's way more to that story. Does she got thyroid problems? What is going on? I ain't wishing bad on her. But we can't just keep on falling out and thinking it's okay. So Porsha, girl, get you some help. Miss Robbie of Welcome to Sweeties fame is suing her bad-bodied son, Tim. Child, Tim then snuck off and opened up 2 or 3 restaurants out in North Hollywood, California under the same name. I think it's supposed to be TJ's Sweeties or something like that. And didn't even let his mama know. Supposedly stole money from the 2 restaurants in St. Louis. Is it St. Louis? I think it's St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis, and opened these restaurants out in North Hollywood, and they're saying that the restaurants are a flop, that people are bad reviewing it, saying that the service is bad, that the food isn't good. And honey, Robbie done found out, and now she got to sue Tim. That sounds just like something he would do, because, you know, he was always one that was pushing for them to do different things, and I just feel like maybe he stole that money, opened those restaurants with the hopes of it being, you know, successful and it doing well. And then when he told his mom that they got some more restaurants out in North Hollywood, California, that, you know, and it's making money, then she would be with it. But he didn't plan for the fact that the shit was gonna be fucked up and nobody was gonna like the fucking restaurants. So, yeah, Robbie pissed. She fired Tim. She's suing Tim. Hopefully she gets her money from Tim. Tamar Braxton stories, same old same. She's fighting with the host from The Real on Twitter and Instagram. Stories of her and Vince not paying some audio-visual company that did some work in their house back at the end of last year. They're not paying them. And these people are suing now for like $3,300. That's your regular Tamar fare. They're also saying that as far as replacing the host on The Real, Monica, Mel B, Ashanti, and Eve are in the final runnings to get that spot. And I actually think all of them would be good. I think I would like the most probably Ashanti. Seems like she would be the one for that position there. But any one of them would be good to me. This information came from Love B. Scott. Love B. Scott seems to have some sort of inside detail on the goings-ons of Tamar and Vince. J.R. Smith got married. Congratulations to him and his wife. He married his longtime girlfriend, Jewel Harris. Okay, long time? How long? Long time. Was he still with Jewel when he was messing with K. Michelle? Speaking of K. Michelle, she announced on her concert tour out here in Atlanta that she is involved with a doctor. She did not say his name. However, she said he was single. He loves her. She loves him, and that they are starting a family. So we don't really know if that means that she is indeed infanticipating or if they are starting to plan to have a baby. But congratulations to her. I mean, I wish we would probably get married before we start having babies. But child, I mean, I'm old school. Obviously, they don't do it like that no more. But if she's happy and if they like it, child, I love it. There's all kind of talk that Rob Kardashian has pulled the plug, or at least pulled himself out of the mix of the Rob and Black China reality show that's supposed to be on E! Channel that will document her pregnancy and the birth of their baby. And it's thrown everybody into a tizzy. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Rob Kardashian. You guys, I've tried to be there. I've tried to be understanding. I mean, his family is fucked up, and I mean, he's had a lot going on, but to me at this point it just seems like it's Rob. Now, you knew that reality shows, I mean, you've been involved with it half of your life, so I'm trying to figure out, why did you think that this was a good idea? Now that you're doing it, now you realize that it's not a good idea. I mean, you didn't committed yourself to something that you're pulling out of. Black China has to be the one to film the show. I don't know if he getting cold feet about being in a relationship with this girl. He's the one that wanted to get pregnant with the girl. You know, he actually said on the show it was his idea, which made me feel like they went and got like inseminated or something, or had some sort of help. But he didn't want to do all of this, and now all of a sudden he don't want to do the show. Like, I understand if he's saying that it's too much, you know, on their relationship, it's putting a strain on it, then fine. But I'm gonna need Rob to get it to fucking together. You need to rethink a whole lot of things before you just jump out and do it. Now when you see him, it looks like he's picking up his weight again. He's kind of being more reclusive again. You got Black China out there. She's pregnant, having to deal with the family without him. You know, it's a whole bunch. And I'm sorry to say, because I was one of the ones that really wanted it to work with them, but it's going to be a whole bunch more, y'all. It's going to be a whole bunch more. Wait till that baby get here. Oh, and T.I., his restaurant, Scales 925, yeah, they were served with an eviction notice the other day. They won't be open much longer. And where did you guys hear that prediction? Was it here? It was here, right? Right here on top of the blogs. Okay. I was just making sure you was listening. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. We do this every single week. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.